Over the years, I've come to realize that a lot of the fruiting trees and plants that are growing here in my Florida garden have so much more to offer than just fruit. So I wanted to make this video to share with you some of the surprising alternative uses that I've discovered along the way. Now, some of these you may already be familiar with, and some may even surprise you. Just a quick note that the information in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. None of this is medical advice. Make sure to check with your healthcare provider before using any plants as natural remedies. And if you need any sources for the information in this video, I need sources. I will list them in the video description. I'm pretty sure you're already familiar with this first fruiting tree, which is the mulberry. And whether you're growing this amazing tree for its berries, no matter if it's the dwarf ever-bearing mulberry or the Himalayan mulberry, Pakistan mulberry, white mulberry, it's important to understand that mulberries are some serious overachievers in the garden. Not only do they provide an abundance of delicious berries that come in different flavor profiles and sizes, but the leaves can also be used medicinally in teas. Research has shown that they actually help regulate blood sugar. They have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. They're good for blood circulation. They're loaded with vitamins and minerals. So you can come out and not only harvest your berries, but also grab a few leaves and bring them inside to make yourself some tea. They also make an excellent feed for chickens, rabbits, and goats. When the season ends or when you're ready to prune this down, it makes an excellent chop and drop mulch fertilizer for the tree itself or even for surrounding plants, your garden beds, containers. And as it decomposes, it will feed the soil and the plants. I really love this next one. I actually bought this tree for its fruit. I had no idea that the leaves had so many benefits. In the springtime of 2026 will be the second year that this tree has fruited for us. And I'm talking about loquats. They aren't just delicious spring treats, but their leaves also make a nice, gentle medicinal tea that's really good for coughs and lung support. They also contain an antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and metabolic benefits. An important thing to know about the leaves is that the more mature leaves here contain less trichomes. That downy fuzz that you see, those are called trichomes, and it's less present in the mature leaves. Whereas if you look up here at the younger growth, you're going to see a lot more of that. Here's another one for you. So when you're preparing the tea, you're going to want to take most of these trichomes off. That's why it's a lot better and easier to use the mature leaves toward the bottom of the tree because you don't have very much to scrape off. These trichomes, they're not really harmful, but they can cause throat irritation, which is the complete opposite effect of what you're likely trying to use the tea for. That's why we go with the more mature leaves, but also these leaves down here are drier, and so they'll hold up a lot better and easier to drying so that you can store them long term, whereas the leaves up here at the top have a lot more moisture in them, so they're going to take a lot longer to dry. For the size of this tree, which is a relatively small young tree, it's got a lot of flower buds this season. Loquats are truly abundant producers. And because of that, especially if you have a more mature tree, if you don't know what to do with all of the excess loquats after you've preserved a ton of them, you can always make loquat wine or mead, which is technically melomel, and it is surprisingly easy to make and very rewarding if you're into that. These beautiful bushes next to me are already taller than I am. I'm 5 feet tall and they are already about 6 feet high. You probably already know Roselle for its tangy red calyces, but did you also know that the leaves are edible? They have a lemony sorrel-like flavor and are really good in soups or salads. The calyces, which are what these flowers turn into, what we commonly use Roselle for, are used to make Roselle teas or even juices. If you let it cool off a little bit and place it in the refrigerator, it's so refreshing and really delicious. I've made pies and jams with these as well. They are super rich in antioxidants. They're known to support healthy blood pressure and liver function. The deep red calyces also create a natural fabric or food dye, which is super awesome if you have an excess and don't know what else to do with them. They are absolutely stunning in the garden. The flowers are gorgeous. You've got these nice red stems in contrast with the green leaves, and these flowers are great at attracting pollinators and bees. And then when the season ends, you can take all of these beautiful red stalks and leaves and you can chop this all down and use it as a natural mulch for your garden. The rich green material will break down beautifully to feed your soil and the surrounding plants. This next one here is so special to me. Where I'm from in Puerto Rico, we actually call it acerola, but it's also known as Barbados cherry. As you may already know, Barbados cherry or acerola is one of the best and highest sources of vitamin C, even more so than oranges. And the leaves are packed with natural antioxidants and compounds that help reduce inflammation, protect your cells from damage, and support your immune system. Some studies even suggest that they may play a role in cancer prevention. And if you prune your Barbados cherry tree on a regular basis to maintain its shape and to keep it tidy and open up the canopy, you can use those cuttings as chop and drop, place it right back down around the base of the tree, let it decompose so that it can feed the tree or even the surrounding plants naturally over time. Now let's talk about figs. Who doesn't love a good fig? I actually know of one person, and that's my brother. But I think he tried a breba crop, or one of the fruits from my baby fig tree. It so happened to be its first year fruiting. And sometimes first year fruits are pretty subpar. But who knows? He might just have silly taste buds like his silly personality. Let's talk about the leaves. Fig leaves contain really powerful antioxidants and compounds that help protect the cells and DNA from damage, reduce inflammation, and even support skin health. The studies also showed that drinking fig leaf tea is linked to improvements in eczema symptoms. Additionally, the leaves can help calm inflammation in the gut and support the overall immune balance. This next one is also very special to me. We all know passion fruit for its deliciously juicy, aromatic tropical fruits, but they're also incredible pollinator magnets, especially for the Gulf fritillary butterflies, which you can see their caterpillars did a number on my vine. I let them go at it without spraying though, knowing that in doing so it would support them and the overall ecosystem. But now that they're gone, my vine is going to have to work on restoring itself, which it will. I'm not worried though, because this vine is hardy and will not die because of that. But now I want to talk about the leaves of this beautiful vine. Passion fruit leaves have many natural compounds like flavonoids and alkaloids that act as antioxidants, and they help to protect cells from damage. These leaves have sedative effects that help calm the nerves and improve mood. Some studies even show that passion fruit leaves can help keep blood pressure in check. They've also been linked to fighting off microbes, protecting the liver, the nervous system. They even have some anti-cancer effects. And if all that weren't enough, the beautiful extraterrestrial-like flowers are also edible. You can sprinkle the petals over salads, desserts, or even use them as a colorful garnish for drinks. They also make a gentle and fragrant tea. You just steep the fresh or dried petals in hot water for a light tea. It's really nice and a good way to enjoy the plant beyond just the fruit itself. You may be surprised to learn that blueberry leaves are packed with the same protective compounds as the berries, and in some cases, even more so. Small human studies showed that sipping blueberry leaf tea or a leaf infusion can help keep blood fats in check after meals. The leaves contain natural antioxidants and polyphenols, which help fight off oxidative stress, which is basically the wear and tear on your cells that can lead to inflammation and aging. So, while the research is still in the early stages, adding a cup of blueberry leaf tea to your day can be a tasty and natural way to up your antioxidant intake. Some quick tips to consider. If you're going to be using any of these leaves in teas, I recommend picking the younger, more tender leaves because they're going to be more mild and less bitter than the more mature leaves. And this is, of course, with the exception of the loquat leaves, which we would prefer using the more mature leaves toward the bottom of the trees. Also, only pick leaves from trees that were not treated with pesticides or herbicides. And lastly, a typical serving for me personally is 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried leaves per cup of hot water. And then I just let them steep for 5 to 10 minutes. And at that point, I either sweeten it with honey or not. If you're still here, thank you for hanging out with me until the very end. If you use the leaves on any fruit trees or fruiting plants that I didn't mention in this video, please let me know in the comments because I would love to learn from you. And until next time, I will see you soon. Bye.